With me now is a Democratic member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey. Senator, thanks for taking a few minutes. I think this is a question a lot of people are wondering about when it comes to your party and its strategy as Donald Trump becomes president. A lot of grumbling, a lot of objections about all of the nominees that Donald Trump has put forward. But the question of whether Democrats can make a stand and actually stop one of these nominations when you see a Republican like Marco Rubio raising concerns about Tillerson, is Tillerson the one that your party is really going to try to focus on?
Well, I think Tillerson is at the top of the list, but Steve Pruitt, who has been named as the nominee for the Environmental Protection Agency when he wants to turn EPA into every polluter's ally, that's another good candidate. I think that it won't just be one. I think there's going to be multiple nominees who are going to come under intense scrutiny because of their past actions, their relationships, and Tillerson is at the top of that list because of his close working partnership with President Putin in Russia.
When it comes to what Democrats are able to do, then the Republicans are going to control the chamber. They already do. They will continue to control it in January. One of the changes made in how the Senate works a few years ago, I don't need to tell you this, but Harry Reid, when he was the Democratic leader, did away with the filibuster on executive branch nominations. That means people the president picks for his cabinet. Does that handicap your party now that you're in the minority, now that you're confronted with Donald Trump's picks for his cabinet?
Well, we're already hearing reservations about Tillerson from John McCain, from Marco Rubio, from Lindsey Graham, and from others. And so that alone would be sufficient in order to deny him his cabinet post. So I think as long as the information which each senator is going to have access to is clear and undiluted, that many of these cabinet appointments could have big problems, and I would, again, put Secretary of State at the top of that list, given what we've already heard from Republican senators in the last 5 days.
We have seen all sorts of calls for investigations into the role of Russia in this election. Your committee now is going to be taking this up. What kind of information do you think the Senate Foreign Relations Committee can establish here that can't be established by any of the other inquiries that are out there in terms of the intelligence community or in terms of what Chuck Schumer is calling for Congress as a whole?
Well, our committee, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, has overall responsibility for our foreign policy and for the relationship between countries around the world and the United States of America. So we'll be in the front lines of this effort in order to extract all of the information needed to know what Russia was doing in trying to hack into our elections. We are a democracy. If Putin okayed that, and don't forget, he was the head of the KGB, it's highly probable that he did, then that is going to be a very relevant piece of information for the American people, but it also then reflects back on Rex Tillerson and his nomination for Secretary of State because of his relationship with Putin. Remember, right now, inside of Russia, ExxonMobil has an area the size of Wyoming that they have leased to drill for oil. So that's a very a difficult relationship, fraught with complexity that our committee is going to have to wrestle with. I think Mr. Tillerson has a lot of very tough questions to answer.
Okay, the confirmation battle just getting underway for Rex Tillerson for Secretary of State. Ed Markey, Senator from Massachusetts, thanks for the time.
Thank you.